The WWE Bad Blood main event has been revealed. Plus, WCW legends could be appearing at Bad Blood as well. And the WWE have Elimination Chamber plans for 2025. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. Bad Blood tomorrow. Live reactions with this lovely gentleman and the taller gentleman. And you can get your predictions, your 9 pitches, what happened at, and the WTF moments all around Bad Blood as well. But what is going to be the last match of the night? This has been a bone of contention all week, Andrew, and you've got the answer.
Yes, we certainly do. Well, PW Insider have the answer.
No,
this
you
comes
have the
from
answer.
Them. Sorry, I have the answer.
You told PW Insider.
No, don't say that. That's not
Eat
true.
that, Mike Johnson.
That's not true. PW Insider said WWE has locked in their plans for Saturday night's Bad Blood pay-per-view. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns teaming for the first time will main event against the Bloodline. We're also told that the current plan is for CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, inside Hell in a Cell, is to open the pay-per-view at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Now, I kind of had a vibe this would be where it would go. I'm somewhat disappointed that the Hell in a Cell's not going on last.
Yeah.
But I think there are bigger things at play which lead this decision to be made.
I think that's it, isn't it, at the end of the day? When we heard from the Pat McAfee show, Cody doing the rumour that, there's going to be a vignette, there's going to be a video that plays after our match that's going to have implications for my title going forward, we were kind of like, what could that be? A lot of people speculating The Rock, and if this is going on last, I can imagine that being the case. I'm sad because... historically, even though there's not been that many Bad Blood shows, Bad Blood has ended with a Hell in a Cell match. We've had 3 prior Bad Bloods, and this being the 4th one. And the prior 3 have all ended with Hell in a Cell matches. We had Kevin Nash, Triple H.
Yes.
We had Triple H, Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
And we've had Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. Mm-hmm. And I was hoping that was going to be the case here. Never mind. I mean, this is the biggest story in WWE.
It is.
In terms of the Bloodline stuff. So therefore, there's an argument to be made that, yes, maybe it should be going on last. Maybe we're going to mix even bigger stars out of people like Jacob Fatu as well, which isn't a bad thing either. Mm-hmm. So I'm conflicted. I think we get the Hell in a Cell match sooner, which is, nice. That's brilliant. But at the same time, I'm a bit sad. But then...
I feel like it might potentially stunt how heavy and how far they go.
That's my thinking
when it comes to it.
Yeah, which is a shit, because obviously Punk on social media has been teasing. He's teased like the stuff that we saw in AEW where he does the monster promo and he's covered in blood, and it's like, oh my God, are we really gonna dig into that side of violence for this match? Which, I mean, people might have also thought like, well, it's WWE, so maybe not anyway. But still, there was that little, maybe.
Punk
I don't know.
gave us some indication that was where it was going when he did an interview for No Contest Wrestling, and he said, I feel like I have to deliver a classic. I have to stay true to myself and my beliefs of what good wrestling is, and that Cell, I feel like, as a company, we've gotten away from for so long, where it just became a toy. Like, we're just going to have a pay-per-view, call it Hell in a Cell, and everyone's going to go inside and have matches. When in reality, it should be presented as the most dangerous, diabolical thing that any wrestler would ever want to do. I want to bring it back to what it's supposed to be. I don't want to have a Cell that needs a match. I want to have a match that needs the Cell, and I feel like me and Drew have done that. Like, there's no other way. There's no other way to settle this, and he is absolutely on the money.
Yeah, for the longest
hated that
time.
period where like it was a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, so let's just hoist some matches inside a Hell in a Cell.
I think that was it, wasn't it? I think that was a lot of people's criticisms as well, is that we're having a pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell and we're just putting matches inside it when it doesn't necessarily feel like they're warranted to be within Hell in a Cell as well. And I think this is it. It always feels like a big deal, or it did prior, didn't it? When we had a Hell in a Cell match and we were like, whoa, jeez.
Excuse me.
And we dabbed so hard and we sneezed so hard when we heard about there was going to be a Hell in a Cell match, and we were like, this is going to be cool, it's going to be violent, it's going to be amazing, like a good way to end a feud. But then, when the pay-per-view came around, it kind of felt like, we're just getting these just because.
You styled out my sneeze magnificently there.
Well, I'm glad. There we go.
That's very proud. Well done. Away from Hell in a Cell base shenanigans, it looks as if we're going to get a few legends of Atlanta, shall we say, popping up in and around Bad Blood weekend.
Yeah, so this also comes from PW Insider, who said WWE will be bringing a number of legends into Bad Blood weekend in Atlanta. The Steiners and Diamond Dallas Page are coming in and will be doing a photo session with fans prior to the pay-per-view. We've also learned that Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Medusa, and Jacqueline Moore are all slated to be in attendance for the pay-per-view festivities. Whether they appear on camera or not remains to be seen. Sorry,
they surely must do, because as I say, we're in Atlanta. This is WCW territory. And I love the fact that they're bringing in some WCW legends. At least it'll just be surely on the front row.
Yeah, you would
Stand
think
up
so.
and give us a wave.
Give us a wave, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're just, Tully, Arn, Medusa, Jacqueline, DDP, the Steiners. That's a nice lineup of people for the show, I do believe. Yeah, and you have to celebrate that. We celebrate that on the podcast feed every week. Do Sam Driver and myself. Sam Driver, resident WCW kid, wanted to go back to his childhood. So we're watching every episode of Nitro currently from the very beginning to its bitter end, or maybe ours. It's on the Cultaholic Classic Nitro review every single Thursday on our podcast feed, and you can watch the video version on our Patreon as well. Yesterday we talked about some injuries coming out of the Ring of Honor tapings in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. There were 2 injury scares during the ROH TV tapings. Sorry, not Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. My apologies to Pittsburgh. Two injuries coming out of those tapings. Sammy Guevara and indie talent Kelly Madden both got stretchered out. It was reported by PW Torch that Sammy Guevara was up and about and walking soon after that. Fightful Select have confirmed that too. We finally have an update on Kelly Madden, and they say Kelly was also stretchered out after her match with Lady Frost, and she was taken to the hospital next door. We're told she is recovering. She didn't appear to sustain an injury outside of a possible concussion, so that's good news. A scary moment during those tapings in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, for sure. Just hope they're both doing all right. Fingers crossed they recover very swiftly.
We'll end on some news regarding the 2025 calendar for WWE and plans for the Elimination Chamber. What have we got, Andrew?
WrestleVotes and Wrestling Observer are reporting that Elimination Chamber will take place this March in the United Kingdom. Way! It's chamber time. With the Utilita Arena in Birmingham and the AO Arena in Manchester as the front runners to host it. By hosting it in March, it'll make this PLE the final stop before WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas too. It'll also be the 4th straight Elimination Chamber to be held outside of America, previous events being held in Saudi Arabia, Montreal, Canada, and Perth, Australia.
Now, WWE are doing a show in Manchester very, very soon at the Co-op Live, that brand new building. Ooh. In fact, if you want some money off on your tickets, check the description down there. Courtesy of us, you're very welcome. So I do wonder whether the AO Arena is in the mix, because if they're doing Co-op Live, which is a much bigger, shinier new venue, chances are if they're going to do it, they'll probably do it there instead.
Yeah.
Depends on whether or not Peter Kay lets them in. But it's potentially could happen there as well. But this is exciting. I wonder whether this is now just the future. They're just going to make the Chamber an international pay-per-view.
Yeah, for sure. It seems that way, doesn't it? With the previous 3 of them being held in international places. So it's not a bad thing at all, is it? That's going to be the final stop, because usually, I guess it's because we're getting the Rumble later, aren't we, next year? We're getting it beginning of February instead. Because usually we would have January, we'd have Rumble, then Chamber in Feb, and then there's like a nice decent gap, isn't there, then between then and WrestleMania in April. But we kind of because things are going later, they've got a shorter gap between then and WrestleMania there.
It does stand to reason. Why would WWE use the event with the most needed apparatus as their international event? Because that chamber is going to be a nightmare to get through customs.
That's a good point, actually. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right.
And just some bloke at Manchester Airport going, what you got there? Just the Elimination Chamber? All right, mate, can you just put it on the table there? They open up Triple H's briefcase and the whole chamber pops out. You signed for this, mate. You didn't fill out that nothing to declare form. Other Elimination Chamber. We'll keep an eye on that one at Cultaholic.com. And of course, this weekend, all eyes on Bad Blood, live reactions throughout the night with yourself and Andam Panchimti.
YouTube.com/Cultaholic/live for that one. I believe the pre-show as well. We had a look. The pre-show for us in the UK starts at 10 p.m. too. So I think only a 1 hour pre-show, which is nice.
Oh, what a joy.
Can't go wrong with that. It's been a while.
You cannot go wrong with that. And for the latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Keys.
Love you. Bye.